Today we're going to repot and wire and prune my cascading Chinese elm. I had brought this in a couple weeks ago. No, about a week ago maybe? I don't know. A couple weeks, between a couple weeks and a week ago. I brought it in. It had almost lost all its leaves. They were real red. The other one is still bright green, so it hasn't changed yet. But I don't know. I'm still scared of leaving these out all winter, even in protection, because I've had ones that I got from, because I ended up getting these from warmer areas where they probably could have just stayed green, an evergreen, because the Chinese elms will do that. They're like a semi-tropical. They're more of a semi-tropical than a temperate, but they can certain cold. I do have ones that were actually, it was from a cutting that was here in this area that they do fine, but I don't know if these will, because I've had in the past that I left two out in protection and they just dropped dead. I mean, they died before the leaves even changed. So these may be better to leave in, but I haven't got that. I haven't took the risk yet. Anyways, this will probably in a month or so it'll bud back out. They usually stay dormant about a month and a half, depending when they hit cold. I do let them, like I said, I let them hit some cold, but not the real bad stuff of the winter. First, we're just, like I said, here, I'll turn her around here, rotate it around to see it all the way around. I'm just going to trim it back to some places. First, we're going to trim back is up here. Now, we got two here, and then this one's a little low, but they're close enough to say that they're all together. It's too much, and I want this to go out this way, each way, and not up here. So I'm gonna chop that off there. I'm looking to get it to grow more back this way to fill in. Just I don't want it going way over because it's cascade. You don't want it sort of cascading the other way, but you do need something to balance it back this way more. But here we're just going to clip back to some nodes going in the right direction of what I want. Okay, this can be cleaned up. This can be cleaned up. This can be cleaned up. Let's see. Got a bud coming out this side, so we'll go back to that one. That one looks like a good bud to go back to. This I'm just going to clean up and leave as it is. Just going to clean these old cut points up and let that go where it's going to go there. These are good. I like the way this looks here, the main trunk. So this would be the main leader. Again, what we're going to do, see if these bigger ones will clean that up better. Yeah, clean that up. And then we will get rid of this one underneath. I don't need that. This I'll clip back to this thing because it's growing in a weird direction there. This is coming out this way, so we'll trim back to there. We'll clean this up, and then we'll find go back to there. There's a bud right there. I'm going to actually get rid of this over here. We don't need this. There, okay. This, when we wire up, I have to bring this down some. Overall, this has to come down some. Maybe more of a twist, because this part here is too thick to move, and too short. It won't move very good, but this would move on its own some. And here we're just going to, again, we're going to clean this up. clean this old wound up here. We're gonna go to this one going this way. Clean that up. And I think I'm gonna go, we got one there, and one there. I think I'm gonna go to this one here. And then we got this one to take care of. Okay, I think I'm gonna need the bigger shears to get in here to cut that off. And we'll just clean up old wounds. Well, old prune points. Or just branches we don't want. Okay, here. Should I'm gonna prune this back to this. I'm gonna prune this back to here. We're gonna prune this one back to a bud on this side. So right here. This will have a one going that way. And I think I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna keep that for now. I don't know what I'm doing with this one. Kinda is too close to here, but maybe we can wire this out a little more. Yeah, that's all the trimming. I'm gonna wire it before I repot it. I'm mainly repotting it because I want to try to get it closer to the center, a little closer to the center of the pot. When I potted it the last time, I potted it this close over here. Not because I exactly wanted it. I wanted a little closer to the side. But there was too much roots on this side that I couldn't remove yet. And not a lot back here. So we just kind of put it where we could put it at the time. Let me get some wire out. We're not going to need too thick a wire this time for this one. Because most of it will be taken care of by my smallest wire. And then this will probably be the thickest wire I use, and that I'll be using on this. And maybe to get more of a twist. I mean, more of a movement in that cascading part of the tree. As you can see, this is just about the length I want, the thickness I want. I don't want much, I wouldn't want more than that on there. It's probably a little thicker than I need on there, but I don't see the reason to doing 2 pieces of wire for that. Next. Okay, I'm going to bring stuff down here. And honestly, this wire could honestly be considered maybe a little too thick for this, for these branches, but it's the thinnest I have. I don't think you really get much thinner than this. What we're gonna do, I'm going to, yeah, the way this is, I'm just gonna run the wire down the tree instead of finding opposing branches to bring it on. Okay. There we go. Now this one I'm wiring up now, I want to put some movement in. It's a little long without any movement. And we're going to wire it up before I repot it, but we're not going to put the wire in place until after we wire it because I don't see a point. It's apt to get moved. And all we're doing is we're just moving. We're just running each. I could make it neater, but I'm not. This is some really small wire. And I'm sorry, but wiring doesn't always need to be neat. I'm not going to show this tree with the wire on it, so I am not hugely worried about it looking the greatest. Just my opinion. Okay. And it's not a lot of way I can, the way I'm set up, there's not a lot of way I can show you the wiring really good without getting into the way some. It's just not going to happen. Just wrap these around better. I'm going to wrap that around better. I'm trying to decide if we need any wire on the top. I'm thinking, yes, I would like this to come down some. And I'd like this to come back some. And I would like this to come back some. So yes, we are going to put some wire on this. Oops. And I'm wiring like I wired on the bottom again. This is just the way I learned. This is actually the way I learned to wire originally. It's just bringing it all up the tree. I can see the advantage of both ways. The books I used to learn just showed that technique. I later learned where you could bring it down this, use these two branches, which I might have been good to use there, but I'm just going with this for now. I've honestly, it looks better the other way, but I don't honestly think it makes a whole lot of difference. It doesn't seem to make really any difference for what you're doing. That it work both ways work just as good. Okay. Just gotta make sure you're coming up against the right wire to get oops. Okay. This way. Let's clip it back a little. Trying to decide, do I need this any? No, this is in good shape. I don't need to. I don't see a reason to wire it, but actually I'm going to clip it back. I don't like how this comes out. I actually clip it back to this one and this one. I think they'll work better. Okay, so now I gotta get about two. Oh, this thing's probably grown pretty good in here because it's It's not, yeah, it's got a good amount of roots on the bottom. Just pressing that wire down under here. The only reason I'm doing this indoors for Repot is because A, this is a good time to, it's gone dormant and will come back out in a month or two, and it's a good time to, and it's small. I probably wouldn't do too big a one in here because it would make too much a mess. This is going to make a little bit of a mess, but I'm not that worried about it. Okay, this stuff we're just going to clip off. I need get these out of here. I don't want my good. I want to accidentally pick up my good trimmers. I mean, good pruners. I can reuse this. I'm gonna go clean this in a minute, but we'll get all this ready. We'll get all this taken care of. So when we put this back in here, I want to put it back in more like this. It'll actually finally give me the cascade that I need, which I've been working on, but I haven't quite got it. So we need to clip some of these roots this way off, because they're just going to all be down anyways. I'm going to take this one off. This one's not useful. Just trim this back for now. This one's kind of underneath. I don't need this. Yeah, I don't need this one, or I don't need it that long. Take it off for now. And then what do we got? I'm gonna trim some of this stuff back. Clip all this stuff underneath that off. Any of this underneath stuff. Clip this back to there. Then we need to take that one back. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of this. We don't need this under here. And then just for now, just clip these back. And we'll clip this back. Yeah, that should work. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go clean this. Okay, I have the pot partway filled with some soil. Just gonna, okay. Now, what I'm gonna do we're gonna try to do most of trying to pull this down some. Just want to bring this down some. Then we got to kind of rotate this a bit. Bring that out that way a little bit. Bring this back. That looks better now. These, we wanted to bring this back a little bit. Hey, that looks like it should be good. Now we're just gonna oops. That wasn't a good idea. Let me pull this out again. Still not sure which side I want. So we're just going to leave it there. And I'll have to get a rock to put on this side to help hold it down, but it shouldn't be a problem for now because it's indoors. It isn't going to get moved around much. Look of it before. Okay, that is pretty much what I'm looking for. Maybe a little of this down a little more. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time.